All right, hello everybody. Thank you for joining. I am Riley with the T Storm Chasers, and we're going to take a look at your forecast. But before we do, here is a brief word from our sponsors at Cube Portable Storage.
What are you doing?
Decluttering?
Moving? Remodeling? In need of temporary storage, emergency cleanup, or just need to declutter? Cube Portable Storage has the perfect solution. Rent your Cube Portable Storage container today.
And don't forget, they got roll-off dumpsters for the other stuff. Call Cube Storage for all your moving needs.
All right, everyone. Good morning out there. Happy Friday. Today is January 23rd, 2026, and we have a lot of headlines to get to. Let's take a look here firstly at the national picture. And as you can see, there's a lot going on here. We have a lot of colors, a lot of boxes. Basically, the western half of the country is quiet. We don't see anything there. But then for the central and eastern portions of the country, dealing with big-time winter headlines. So first off, I want to just touch on this, the southern U.S. And the eastern U.S., where we have the areas shaded in red. That is a winter storm warning that is in effect. So believe it or not, there is a major winter storm that is brewing across the southern U.S. into the eastern U.S. So big weather story there. Snow all the way down to, the Mexico border. That is how bad this is going to get. Winter storm warnings all the way through Texas. And yeah, it's going to be a big deal this weekend for a lot of people down here in the southern U.S. Feet of snow and just dealing with a lot of bad winter weather. But for our region, thankfully, we don't really have to deal with that. Now, there is a couple of spots that could see some snow, maybe an inch or so of snow to be down in Nebraska. As you can see here, here's the current radar picture, and there's some light snow flurries that are in Nebraska and then southwestern South Dakota as well. So something we'll keep an eye on today. But we're not expecting a lot of accumulation out of that. But for the rest of us, we are dry out there, and we are not going to be seeing anything in the forecast. We are just going to have to deal with very, very cold weather. We are in store for very, very cold weather ahead. Believe it or not, though, right now is actually the worst of it, of what we're going to be seeing. Last night was brutal out there. It was awful out there. Very, very cold out there last night. There was wind chills, in the minus 30s and minus 40s. It was really bad. So we're going to run through these headlines, and we're going to take a look at the rest of your forecast details here in just a moment. But first, let's hear a brief word from our sponsor at CE Construction.
From roofing to siding, CE Construction is setting the standard across North and South Dakota. Our expert team delivers quality, durability, and trust on every project. CE Construction, Dakotans helping Dakotans with their roofing and siding needs. Call or visit us online.
Okay, so jumping into the weather alerts map here is where we have a lot of boxes going on across our region. Our entire region is filled up with boxes of weather alerts. So let me go ahead and start west to east here. So western South Dakota, Rapid City area, dealing with a cold weather advisory. Here's what it says: very cold wind chills as low as 35 below zero. And we are looking at very cold weather until 1 p.m. Central Time today. Dangerously cold wind chills as low as 35 below zero. Could cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 10 minutes. And then for the Aberdeen area, we have an extreme cold warning for the northern half of South Dakota. Let me go ahead and read this off. Dangerously cold wind chills as low as 44 below zero are expected. And these dangerously cold wind chills are still going to be expected until 3 p.m. Central Time today. So we just got to deal with this a little longer, and then we'll be out of the dangerously cold wind chills. Again, frostbite could be caused in as little as 10 minutes. Dress in layers, hat, face mask, gloves, winter coat. Keep pets indoors. Make sure outdoor animals have a warm, dry shelter, food, and unfrozen water. Also, make frequent checks on older family, friends, and neighbors. Ensure portable heaters are used correctly. Do not use generators or grills inside. And then for the Sioux Falls area, cold weather advisory in effect here until 1 p.m. this afternoon, and very cold wind chills again. And we had an extreme cold warning for Sioux Falls, but that expired at 11 a.m. this morning, so about a half hour ago. This is in effect until, again, 1 p.m. this afternoon. Dangerously cold wind chills as low as 35 below. So we're still dealing with the worst of this wind chill numbers, but overall, we are going to see a slight improvement as we go throughout the rest of the day into your weekend. And then over here in Minnesota, the same thing. You know, they got a cold weather advisory that's in effect until noon today. And then there's a cold weather advisory remains in effect until noon today to midnight Central Time tonight. So some of these numbers in Minnesota are going to stay very cold. So some of these advisories out here in Minnesota are going to stick around a little bit longer. But overall, a lot of these weather alerts are going to be expiring here as we go into the afternoon hours. So just got to deal with it for a few more hours. And real quick, just wanted to show you guys this. This is the future radar. And as I mentioned earlier, there is the snow across Nebraska and southwestern South Dakota that is going to continue throughout the day today. And then as we head into your day tomorrow, the snow will shift into far southern Nebraska and far southern Iowa, and then that will be the end of that by Sunday. Now, I do want to mention into Sunday morning, there could be some isolated snow flurries in southwestern South Dakota into western panhandle of Nebraska. But other than that, we're not expecting accumulation, maybe an inch. That would be about it. We're not really expecting much out of that. And as we head into, the rest of your weekend, into next week, we don't see any systems in our region. The only thing that I see is Wednesday morning. There could be some light snow Wednesday morning, but confidence at this point is pretty low on that. So we're not seeing much out of that. And then we really don't see anything in this forecast, folks. It's just going to be plain cold out there. Very, very cold. And speaking of that, let's take a look at your windshield. All right, so taking a look at your windshield map, again, dealing with the very cold windshields this morning. Windshields in the minus 30s across a good portion of the area. The only spots that are slightly warmer, if you want to call it that, is out far western South Dakota into Nebraska with windshields in the minus teens. And that's as warm as you're going to get around this area. But if you do notice, as we go throughout the evening hours into the overnight hours, we see a very slight improvement in the wind chills. Instead of minus 30s, we're going to be in the minus teens and minus 20s. So, better than nothing, but we're still very, very, very cold. You're not going to feel much of a difference, to be honest. But as we head into Saturday, we start to see an improvement. We are going to be actually out of the below zero wind chills across western South Dakota. We're going to be back into the teens for wind chills, but still dealing with below zero in the eastern half of the region with single digits and minus teens below zero. And then heading into Sunday, it looks like it comes back a little bit. The colder, you look right here on Sunday and you can see some of these wind chills really, really cold up here. Northwestern Minnesota in the minus 50s. That's some very, very cold air. Minus teens and minus 20s for our region Sunday morning. So, we're not going to see a warm up anytime soon, unfortunately, for our region. And if we play this out a little bit farther out, starting next week, curious to what next week will look like. It looks like Monday will be another very cold morning with wind chills in the minus teens and minus 20s. But then it looks like after Monday we start to warm up a little bit, but we're still going to be cold. But yeah, overall, this is not going to get a whole lot better for the foreseeable future. For at least the next 7 to 10 days, we're not seeing any warm-ups in store for anyone. except maybe out in Rapid City area, western South Dakota, because it could be a little bit warmer. But yeah, we're not seeing any warm-ups in sight, unfortunately. So if you like the colder weather, you're going to like this forecast, but if you like the warmer weather, you're going to have to wait a little bit. And just a quick reminder that spring is 57 days away. So there is light at the end of the tunnel there, but we got to get through a lot of days until we get to spring. But, eventually we'll warm back up. I think in February we'll start to break out of this cold snap. So that's going to wrap it up for this morning's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you guys. And drop a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and X, as well as Instagram and TikTok as well. So stay safe out there, stay warm, and we'll be back for another video here later today. Thank you guys for watching.